Hi dear children, how's the day? Hope you are all fine there. I'm also fine here. And the other day we were discussing with the first lesson in your main textbook Beehive. The name is The Fun They Had. Hope you remember where we have stopped. We have completed the lesson. Do you remember the story? What was the fun they had? Who were the main characters? There were two main characters, Margie and Tommy, and they were enjoying the fun of school centuries back. Okay, now we'll go with the next lesson, the first poem in the book Beehive, that is The Road Not Taken. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Have you heard about Robert Frost? He was an American poet and he was a great person who worked with romantic poetry. And this poem, The Road Not Taken, was such a beautiful poem which we can say that was coming like as his personal life, as an autobiography, because this says in the inner meaning the poem itself says about his personal life. We'll see the poem now. I'm going to read the first stanza.
Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveller. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth.
Now, here in the first stanza, it's very clearly said that the poet was standing on a yellow wood. What is the meaning of yellow wood? Here, the meaning of wood is very clear and the meaning of yellow is also clear to you. Yellow is a color and wood means the trees part. But here, yellow wood together means forest. A place where trees are grown in a thick manner, very thickly. That's what is yellow wood. That's forest actually. Okay, now the poet is standing in a forest and there what happens? Two roads diverged. Two roads are turning. When the poet was walking like this, he got two roads. What will happen there? Now the poet will be confused whether to take this way or to take the second way. What will happen? And sorry I could not travel both. That is the major problem the poet is feeling. He cannot go with both the ways, both the roads, because he is only one person. Now he has to choose only one road for him to travel. Now he was getting a little confused. He was having a confusion, so what he did was, he stood on that point, on the center point here, and then started looking into the first road which was in front of him, and just looked till it was taking a bend. It was taking a turn after a long time. It was taking a turning in the undergrowth. What is undergrowth? The bushy plants. The small plants which were on both the sides of the road, that is undergrowth. Not the big trees, but the small plants which will not grow beyond the one man's size and all. Such plants were there throughout the sides of the road, and where it was being covered by the undergrowth on an extent. The road was not being seen clearly after an extent. Till that time the poet was looking into one side, one road very clearly, and
then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same.
after looking into the first road, then he started looking into the second one the same way. He started looking into the second one and he felt that the second one was a better claim. Let us see why it was.
Because it was grassy and wanted wear, Though, as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same.
Now listen, why the poet felt that the second road was a better claim, was the best choice for him, because it was wanted via. What is wanted via? Less people walked through that road. What is the difference between a road walked by a lot of people and walked by very less people? Yes, of course, if a road is being used by many people, every time people are walking through that way, automatically the road will be clear. Only on the sides the bush will be growing. But at the same time, if the people are not walking through that way, if it is not walked regularly by people, what will happen? It will be covered with the bushy plants even on the roads, not on two sides. And other old things will be there. It will be a mess actually through the road. But even then the poet felt that as many of the people did not choose that road, that will be the best choice for him, and he felt that he would be able to make a great success in his life if he is going through that way. That is what the poet felt. Now we'll go for the third stanza of the poem.
And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back.
Now the poet finalized that he would go for the second road, and he felt that the first road is always good, but at the same time he felt that he will keep it for some other time. If he is able to come back from this road, he will be able to choose the first road. But even then he was very sure that one road will again lead into another road and will again lead into another road. How is he saying like that? Here the poet, we can say that the poet was trying to make a choice between two professions. One was a teaching profession and another one was to become a poet, to become a writer. Now the poet was much interested to go on with his creativity other than to go on with the profession of teaching. Okay. And here the poet chooses the first one, but at the same time he loved the profession teaching also. That is why he felt it sad that he is not able to go with both the choices in his life. So he was feeling a little sad that he cannot go with the first road. But even then he was strong in his mind that he will be able to go on the second road and will be able to get himself into a successful poet. Whatever is the way, he felt he was having that tendency in his mind that one or the other day he will be able to come back and will be able to go with the first road which he had kept for another time. He was having that feeling in his mind because he loved both the roads, and both the roads were looking the same. Both the roads, leaves were covering the roads. Nobody had stepped on the roads as it was very early morning. That is very clearly given in the first stanza also. And whatever it is, on that early morning, whether the road was travelled by too much people or whether it was travelled by less people, whatever is the condition, two roads were looking the same, covered with the leaves and all, because nobody had travelled through both the roads on that morning. It was early morning and he will be the first traveller. Whichever route he was choosing, he would be the first traveller on that route. Hope you are clear about it, and we'll go for the last stanza now.
I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference.
Now, with a sigh, the poet says that I will be saying it with a sigh. But even then the poet is not explaining whether the sigh is of happiness or sadness. Okay. And he says, somewhere ages and ages hence, long back, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I chose the less traveled road. And that choice made all the difference in his life. Now the poet is leaving the freedom to explain the emotion of the poet. In the last stanza, he is not explaining whether he was happy with the road, whether he was having a lot of sufferings. All those things are not very clearly mentioned here, but he says that he was telling it with a sigh, and the two roads diverged on a yellow wood. He chose the second one, the less travelled by, and that has made all the difference in his life. He is not mentioning whether the difference were good, whether the difference were bad or not. All those freedom we are being taken. The readers are given the freedom to select whether the poet was able to give a sigh of happiness or sadness. Now we'll go for the structure of the poem. It is, when you are looking itself, you will understand it is having 4 different stanzas and 5 lines in each. 4 stanzas and 5 lines. When you are checking, you will understand each stanza carries 5 lines. And this type of poems are called quatrains. A poem which has 4 stanzas and each stanza carrying 5 lines, they are called as quatrains. Hope you are clear about it. And then another one is about the mood of the poem. This is a reflective and thoughtful poem which is communicating with the feelings of the poet, but at the same time the poet is not ready to reveal whether his feelings were happiness or sadness. Towards the last lines, towards the end of the poem, the poet is not ready to reveal the truth whether he was happy about the choice or whether he was sad about the choice, whether he had a lot of sufferings in the choice. Hope you are clear about the poem, and the exercise part we will be doing when we are going on with the interaction time. Hope you understood all these things, and there is an assignment for you. You have to collect 3 poems from the poet Robert Frost. It will be available on net. You have to collect all the 3 poems, write those poems in your notebook and prepare a brief note about the poet Robert Frost. Hope you are clear about it. Thank you. Have a nice day.